This is the Iron Trader, and this is the weekend edition. This week, we're going to take a look here at some commodities. First of all, we're going to start off with one of my favorites, crude oil here, and then natural gas. And then we're going to take a look here at gold, silver, the US dollar, Bitcoin, and the VIX. So it should be pretty good. All right, this video is for information purposes only. Not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, first of all, here we have crude oil. Now, this is always one of my favorites. We do this every day, crude oil, natural gas, because just a couple reasons. First of all, it's always in play. Okay, there's always news on it, and you always have good movement in both directions. Now, when we look at this chart, okay, we have a really nice rounded bottom here. Looking very, very nice. Nice series of higher lows. Very, very nice. And now we're looking here at, we had an inside day here on Friday. You had a high of 81.45 and a low of 80.49. And then the previous day, you had a high of 81.62. So we did have an inside day. However, what we're really looking for here is now when the futures open here Sunday night, what we want to watch on the upside is this key level right here. Okay, so this is that 81.62. If we can get above that, then what we do, we just look to the left of your chart here. Okay, you have 82.24, you have 82.83, and then here's your target. Bring that price channel right across. You're looking at 83.60, which lines up very, very nicely here with this 100 SMA here on your weekly chart. Okay, so that 83.52. So that is going to be your targets there on the upside. Now, again, eventually, I think this is going to go very much higher for the simple reason. See, now we're just starting to come into seasonality, and this is taking off here a little early. Remember, you got Memorial Day, you have 4th of July, all the way into Labor Day, and then we have hurricane season to the end of September. So you really kind of want to be long. Now, for me, I have a long trade going. I've had all the way since down here. Okay, and then I'll also take UCO and I scalp that every day, basically for cash flow. Okay, so that's just how I trade it. Now, what we have here on the downside, so what we want to watch is this key level here, okay, on the downside. This is that 80.85. This was the breakout candle. So when it rallied up, you put a high in, and then it came down, and then you broke out. So now that becomes support. Okay, so that's what we want to watch at 80.85. Your next in line here is going to be 80.67. Okay, now again, if that's lost, then what we do is we follow top of this candle. So you have 80.41, and then basically you had 80.49. That was your support level on here on Friday to take a nice scalp because it held. So what I do is how I trade this is I watch the high. Now, if it can't get through, then it looks like it wants to go lower. Then I just watch these top of these candles here to see where the support holds, and this support held right here at the 80.41. That tells me then I have to get long. Okay, so again, if that 80.41 there is lost, then what we do is we just look to the top of these candles. So basically what you're looking here is 79.99. On top of this candle, 79.90. And then we look to the previous day's low here, Thursday's low, at 79.57. And then right below it, we have this nice 79.29. Now, there is going to be a lot of support right in this level here, okay, on this because you look at the 79.57. If you bring it your cursor right across, what do you have? So you have 79.53, 79.49, and then we have 79.62. So everything is sitting there at a really, really nice support levels here. And then right below here, what do we have is 79.29. Again, if that's lost, you have your 78.56, and then we have your 200-day sitting at 78.15. So you have a lot of good support here until you follow the candles down until you can see that 50, that 8 SMA here, your 21 SMA here, and then your 200 SMA. Now, again, if that's lost, then we just follow these candles again to the bottom, 77.57, 77.34, and this is that nice retest, 76.79. Okay, when you look over to the left of your chart here, you look at 76.80. That was your nice double bottom in play, and then she ran up. Just like what we had here. You had that nice double bottom in play, and then she ran up here. Okay, so again, but if that's lost, then we look to this 50 SMA. You're looking at 76.19, and then you have your hundo sitting at 76.11. Now, when the futures open here at 6 p.m. on Sunday night, this 8-day is going to be higher, and this 21-day is going to be higher. But what I like about it, see how the 50-day crossed above the The 100-day, nice. 21-day is above the 200-day. Your 8-day is above all of that, looking very, very sharp, looking to go higher. Okay, so if it rallies up higher and you can get and close above this 81.62, just watch this key level here. That's at 83.52, your 100 SMA here on your weekly chart. That is going to be your upside target. Now, see your RSI here looking good. You have plenty of room to run, and you have a nice bullish cross here on your MACD. Shows that you got good momentum. Your green went above your red. Very, very nice. Now, same way here on your weekly chart. Well, see your green is above your red. That shows good momentum, good strength. See RSI moving up here, very nice. And what I like about this weekly chart is not only just that 8-day is curling up here. Now, next week, this 8-day is sitting at 77.59, and your 50-day is at 77.86. So this 8-day should cross above that 50-day, and that's very, 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 very bullish, and that should push it up here to this 100-day here eventually. Okay, so right now you closed above that for the week. You're 77.86. You close above the 8 SMA, and we close above the 21-day. Very, very nice. Now you can see this 200-day, how strong this is. Look how many times that it hit it and it held. Now, just because you come down and you have a stick down there, that doesn't mean anything. We're looking out for a closing basis. That's the key for the week, which is the Friday. You want to close above that. So this is looking very, very nice here now. So the key is going to be that 81.62. If you can get above, we can follow the candles to the left, but this is going to be your target there at 83.52. Okay, next in line here, let's take a look here at natural gas. Okay, natural gas. It seems like a lot of people just like to trade at natural gas. I know I do. A couple reasons is it's always, again, it's another thing that's in play, and it has really good movement. Now, you look at natural gas. Now, if you go to my playlist here on this on the YouTube here, you can click on to seasonality charts, and I have natural gas seasonality charts right under, along with crude and the indexes and the whole nine. So you can look at, and that's over a 20-year period. So really, natural gas isn't, in March here, this is kind of like a sell down, but natural gas should be coming into play here. Now, again, if you have a very hot summer, natural gas will rally really hard because you got to get these power plants producing that for the air conditioning. You're going to need the power. A lot of people are going to be traveling in with the motels, the whole 9 yards. So you can use a lot of juice. Okay. But again, what you want to do is you got to just trade these charts. Now, last week I posted, and I posted before that, you got to watch this 21 SMA. Now, look what we had here. Okay. So this was a Thursday. We had a nice green candle, kind of a engulfing candle, engulfed the previous days, went lower, lower, and higher, high. But where did you go? Right into that key 21 SMA, and it couldn't get through. Now, the next day, this is why I come in flat, because I don't know, you really don't know, especially with natural gas. They don't call it the widowmaker for nothing. You don't know which direction that it's gonna go. So, like, look at this bullish candle. See, that's engulfing, went into the 8-day, and the next day it popped up. So we didn't know if that was going to pop up or not. But again, natural gas is the instrument that always seems to let you in on a trade. So even though it runs up, it seems like it wants to pull back and then, go higher. So it gives you a chance to get in. So never worry that, I missed a trade. There's always another one coming around. Okay, so what did we do Friday? So, Friday, look at this big-ass red candle. So you had a high in that of 177. 4 and a low 164.6. Okay, so you had a little bit higher low and a little bit higher high, but where did it go? Right into that 21 SMA here, 1.759 and 1.759 is your 8-day. Now, when the futures open on Sunday, that 8-day is probably going to come down lower and cross below that 21-day. So you got to be very, very careful. So what we want to do is just look to the lowest of the candle. So this is 1.646, 1.643. Okay, 1.651. So you want to look to the bottom of this candle. This is 1.643. So this is what you want to trade against. Okay, so if it can't hold that, then we want to come to the top of this candle. You're looking at 1.637. Okay, and then we want to come to the bottom of this candle, 1.594. The bottom of that candle, 1.58, and then the bottom here, 1.57, and then obviously we have your retest here at 1.522. So that is going to be your downside. Your upside is you got to get above this 21-day, 1.759, and that 8 SMA. That's very, very crucial, okay? And you can see it here by the charts. See, one thing I like about the charts is it basically is lines on paper and it has no reason to lie. All you got to do is just look at that. When you listen to all these talking heads like on CNBC or Bloomberg or wherever, okay, never really take it into all like oh, this is 100%. They might have an agenda. They say, oh, this is going higher, this is going higher. Maybe they want it to go higher so they can dump it and sell it to you. Okay, so a lot of times their agenda isn't the same as yours. Okay, so if you just trade the charts, it has no agenda. It tells you exactly. I told you when we're down here, once you lost that 21 day, you have to get right back up. If you can't get through that 21 day, it's not going higher. It's just as simple as that. Now, when we look on the weekly, this is the same thing that happened here, not last week, but the week before. Okay, so you ran up. I said, watch this 8 SMA, and where did it go? Right in there. It can't get it, couldn't get above. Then it comes shooting right on down. So just watch the bottom of this candle, 1.643. If that's lost, we just follow these candles all the way down to your big retest. Now, the upside, you want to watch that 21 day. You want to watch that 8 day. If you can get above that, then we can look to the top of this candle. Okay, so you're looking 1.823. Here we have 1.84. We can come to the bottom here. You have 1.87, and then we have 1.888. And then we're going to look at this key 8 SMA here at 1.896. Okay, again, if it can't get above that, like it did here, it's going to come right on down. Now, your big target, obviously, is your 2.0. But again, we can follow these candles back up here. So you have 1.918, and then we have 1.95, you have 1.98, and then you have this 2.0. This is going to be the key level here. Now, I do like that your price channels here is flattened out, is not rolling over. Very, very good. Again, if you can get above the 2.0, you have a nice target right there at your 50 SMA, and then above that this is where we want to watch. That's at 2.168. That's the gap, and then look to the bottom there. There's your fill. Okay, so gap and fill. Okay, so that is always now. That's all going to be down the road. You have to get above the 21 day and the 8 SMA. Otherwise, this is just going to go sideways to low. It's just that simple. Okay, so watch that 21 day, that 8 SMA, and then if you can get above, this is going to be your key level here, 1.896. You have to get above and close above that. If you can, then you can follow the candles all the way up to the gap, possibly this 2.0 and even that 50 SMA here. Okay. All right. The next one we have in line here is we're going to take a look here is at gold. Okay. Here we have gold. Now, I've been telling you, I posted on gold. You can look back at what I was posting there. So we always looked at this number here. This was your breakout. This is the 21.52.30. Okay, so as it hit that, it topped out and it just went like a sideways action, came all the way down, but you notice it held that nice 100 simple moving average. Okay, it held that very nice, and then it was riding here all these averages, your 8, your 21, and your 50 day, and then it broke out. Now, when we were way down here, I said, just watch these key levels here and watch that 100 day. If that's lost, then we can go down to this 200 SMA here. But if it doesn't and it breaks out above this candle, then she's going higher. So the level you wanted to watch then would have been this candle here, which obviously are higher, and then here, okay? And then what I said is you're going to basically go to 2200. Well, it got just a little bit above that at 2203. Okay, so I was off by $3. Okay, not too bad, but usually you want to tag that round number. Okay, so that's the key is. Now, if you look at this here, you hit a high at 2203, but you closed at 2186. Okay, so it really wasn't off. Okay, so but always look at these round numbers here. Even if you blast through a little bit, can it hold it? Now, you can see where it came down, and then it was kind of holding this 8 SMA here. Very, very nice. You see, so these are your just simple moving average. So you have an 8 simple moving average, which basically is just an average over an 8-day period. This is a 21 SMA simple moving average over 21 day, 50, 100 SMA, and then your 200 SMA here. Okay, so that's all it is. But they work very well when you combine them here with the candlesticks. So how you want to read the candlesticks, the high of this day, the low, and then your close. And that's all right up here in this area right here, okay? So you take this candle, for instance, you had 21.28.40. That was a high, 2088.10. That's a low. And you close at 21.23.10. Okay, so that's what you want to look at here is how you trade candles. Now, we're below this key 8 SMA here. So now what do we need to do? Even though Friday, you rallied up, okay, and it went above, but that doesn't mean anything. You can see where it fell right down here, okay? So now what you're watching here, if you're looking at the upside, is you want to watch 2171, and then Friday's high at 2176, and then you have 2181, you have 2185, we have 2190, and then we have 2195.50, and then there's your big retest there at 2203. Okay, so that's what we have there on the upside. On the downside, you just want to follow this level here because you can see how it's coming down and it's holding. So here we had a low of 2156. Here we had a low of 2157. See that? See, that was your support levels there. Now, again, if that's lost, then we can just follow the candles all the way down. So you have 2151, you have 2131, we have 2118. And then what you always want to do is follow this breakout candle here, okay? If you look at the high, that's 2083, okay? So you guys, where it runs up and then it comes down and where it breaks out, that's usually going to provide a lot of good support. But again, also watch this T21 day. That's 2099, and your 50-day here, you're sitting at 2063, and your 100-day at 2040. So we got to see how this is all going to shake out here because it looks like you didn't close above that 2000. You went up to it, and then you're coming right on down. So we got to see how that shakes out. Now, you look at your RSI here, you can see where you're just kind of like an overbought condition. Your MACD here looks like it wants to roll. We got to see how that's going to shake out here. So here on your weekly chart here, just watch the top of these candles, okay? There's that 2152 like I was telling you about right there. 2152, that is this candle right here. That's going to provide very, very good support. Now, these two candles here was 2156, 2157, and then this here is 2152. That's going to be your support levels if it can hold it, okay? If it can't hold it, then we can follow the candles down, and then you can look for your 21-day, your 50-day, your 100-day, depends on where it goes. And then you want to look at that on both charts, on your daily and your weekly situation here. But what we want to do is make sure that you can hold this key level, that 2156 level, and then that's going to be very, very key. So when you trade these charts, always look to the left of the chart because usually where something's been is where it's going to go again. It's just very, very simple here. So if we lose this key level here that comes right across, then we can start ratcheting down until your 21, your 50 days. So just watch this key level here and then the top of that candle. That's going to be very, very crucial on the old gold. Okay, and on the upside, watch that 8 SMA here and then the tops of these candles all the way on up until you can have 2203 and actually close above that level. So she'll go higher. Okay, next one we're going to look at here is going to be silver. Okay, here we have silver daily and your weekly chart. Now, this isn't performing as good as gold, but you know, it still had a pretty good, a decent sized run here. Okay, so if you look at the bottom of this candle, you had 2204, and then we looked at the bottom here. You basically here you had 2203, and then the green candle, which you put a lower low, and then you rallied up. Okay, so that's like a red dog candle, where you put in a lower low, and everybody thinks it's going to go down, and then it reverses, and then you have a green candle, and then she shoots right on up here. Okay, so we had a nice double bottom situation going on, and then it just rallied up here. But you can see the trading action. Okay, now again, if you're trading gold, an easy way to trade gold is with the ETF GLD. Silver SLV if you're on the long side. Okay, so it makes life very, very easy. And also use like a weekly and a weekly chart here and a daily chart. So here's what we have here. So you can see where it spiked up. It got as high as 25.66. So then basically what you want to do is just look to the left of your chart. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, so you have a 25.70. Okay, so that was your resistance across. Your next level is going to be 25.95, and then we have 26.34. So it's very easy to see here on your weekly chart here. Okay, so basically your retest here is 26.34. So we had a high here of 26.43, and then we had 26.34. Okay, so you had a lower high. So this was basically a double top situation, and then she just came right on down. But you notice that it was holding very good support levels. And what I do like about it is you put a low, a higher low, a higher low, a higher low. That's always very good. Bottom left, upper right. That's the kind of chart you want to see. Now, if it keeps rallying up here, this is what you want to see. What is it going to do when it hits that 26.34? Is it going to be the same as what we had here and sell back off again? Or is it going to slam right up and go higher? Okay, so you can go up here to the next level is going to be that 26.49, and then we can go up to the top of that price channel. You're looking about 27.50. Okay, so that is going to be your upside target. Now, on the downside, you always want to watch the lows. Okay, so you have basically 25 flat. If that's lost, then we'll come right down to this 8-day at 24.76. Now you can see now this 8 days running up, and when it did sell, the 8-day held. Okay, see how nice that it held and rallied right off of that. So your key level, just watch that 25 level, watch that 24.76, and then watch the bottom here at 24.27. That's going to be your support levels next, okay? And then what you can do, you can come to the top of this candle, 24.16, and then we can come to the bottom here, 23.78, and then you have your 23.73, and then you start getting to all this support levels here at that 23.50 area and 23.20 area. Okay, so there's a lot of support going on here when you got your 200-day, your 50-day, your 100-day. Everything is jammed up right there. But realistically, just watch that 25 and watch this 8 SMA. As long as that holds, then you got a shot at this is going higher. If it's lost, then you just follow the bottom, the candles down until you hit this 21 SMA down to 23.73, and then all this 23.50 and 23.20 level here. Okay, but now here RSI is looking very, very strong. Your MACD is looking very, very bullish here. Looks like your MACD curled up here on your weekly chart, looking very, very nice. So the key lay is going to be on the upside is what's going to happen when you hit that 26.34 level. Are you going to smash through it? Then you have 26.49, and then you have 27.50, or is it going to reject it and come all the way on down? Okay, next we have is going to be able to take a look here at the US dollar. Okay, here we have the Dixie, the US dollar. Okay, so basically what you got here is you had a pretty good, it just was selling off. See, this is basically a nice bear flag situation. Okay, you had a big red candle down, and then you rally up here, but you could not get to the top of that candle again. Okay, so that's a bear flag. And then all the way down again, another bear flag, all the way down. See, so this was looking pretty ugly. But then it looked like you bottom right here, right at that 183 kind of a level here. Okay, so that is always very good. And now you ran back up here. You had a 104. Let me just lengthen that out a little bit here. Okay, so you had a nice area here. Now, when you look at this pattern here, you had a left shoulder here, right shoulder, and then we had a head down here. And then actually within that, a left shoulder, a head, and another left shoulder, and then rallied up here. Now, you notice that it just couldn't hold, but when it sold off, it didn't retest all the way to the bottom. It made a higher low. That's always very, very good when you have a higher low. Now we're trying to rally up. So what you want to watch on the upside here is you want to watch that 50-day at 103.49. And then you have your 200-day, 103.70. If you can get above that 103.70, then what we can do is we can come up here to the top of that candle. Okay, you're looking at 104.29, and then we can follow the candles up there. Okay, so 104.49, 41, and then we have 104.71, and then we have your big retest going on up here at 104.97. Now, again, if you can get above, then we can just trend all the way on up here. This is why you want to use the price channels. You just bring those price channels right across, and we already know what the highs are, and those are going to be your resistant levels here. But the key what you want to look at here is it really needs to get back, okay, above that top of that candle at 104.97. That's going to be very key. So when you have here on your weekly chart, if you trade the dollar, you really have a nice, good pattern for a trading pattern. But what I like so far about this is you have a low, a higher low, and a higher low. So we got to see if that pattern is going to shake out, and what is it going to do when it gets up here to this area. That's going to be the whole key, okay, so on your weekly chart. Now, your RSI looks good. Your MACD here looks like it wants to come around. Your MACD here, it looks very, very bullish. So we got to see, where you're at. But you're hanging around this 103. The key is going to be get above that 103.49, and then get above all this level here, that 103.70, where everything's tacked in here. You have your 200-day, your 21-day, your 100-day. If you can get it back above that, then we just follow the candles up here until we can come back up to that 104.97. Then obviously, if you can blast above that, then we just take these price channels, come right onto here, and there's your big retest going on. Okay, so we got to see how this is all going to shade out. But right now, you had a really just a massive run from 99.57 to 107, and then we double topped there. See this double top where you put in a high, and then we put in a lower high, and then she just stair stepped all the way on down. But again, right now, this pattern still is intact because you do have that left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder, and it has not broken the bottom of that candle. So once we can get through this, then we can take a little bit higher here. So if you're trading the dollar, this is probably actually a very good trading for you because you have that nice, good pattern up and down. It's not just a sideways action. Okay, next thing I'm going to take a look here is going to be at Bitcoin. Okay, here we have Bitcoin. Now, this thing's been on a pretty wild ride, okay? You can see where you're basically flat and city, and then she just rolled up really, really hard. Now, this sell-off here was basically right here, okay? This sell-off was when they issued all those ETFs. Okay, I don't know how many ETFs they had to get everybody involved in the Bitcoin, and that was a sell-off. Now, once that, kind of monetized out a little bit, then she broke out. So you always wanted to watch on that breakout was the top of this candle. So that was basically sitting at 49,435, okay? So once you broke out of that, because it came down, and that was a candle that you had that big resistance, it broke out, and then she just ripped right high all the way to 74,415, okay? But it couldn't hold it, and now she's just selling right on off here, okay? So let's take a look at the upside. So the upside is you want to look at that 8 SMA. You're looking at 70,169. That's what we're looking at. Then we can come here to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 71,210. And then we can follow this candle here, which was Friday's high, 72,870. And then we work your way up here, 73,550. And then we have all the way up to there to 74,415. Now, they do have a target on this here, which is a little bit crazy, but they do have a target here of 150,000. Okay, so if you're trading that target, of course, like on NVIDIA, they also have a target on NVIDIA of 1,200. Now it's been selling off here. We'll probably go through a bunch of tech stocks and different kind of stocks tomorrow, and I'll show you. But I said you do have a target on Bitcoin here of 150,000. So it looks like any kind of a pullback, people are looking to get in. So what you want to watch here is just this key 8 SMA on the upside, 70,169. If you can get above that, then we just follow the candles up, and then you were looking for that big retest at 74,415. Now here on the downside, well, obviously you want to watch Friday's low. That was 66,125. That's what we want to watch. And then again, if that's lost here, this is the candle that you want to watch. You look at the high of that's 64,990. Okay, because see, this as it ran up, it came down, and that's where it broke out through. Okay, so you want to watch at top of that candle, that 64,990. Very, very key. And then you can just follow these candles all the way on down here. Okay, so you got 63,385 here. You have 61,490. Look at the bottom here. You have 61,20. But the 21-day will come into play at 62,85. Okay, so always watch that key 21 SMA, and then you can follow your candlesticks down. So like your big support levels are going to be to the left here. So if it does get hammered, you can look at that high of 53,145, and then we have your 51,701. If it gets down lower here, then we just keep looking to the left at that 49,435 here. So as these break out, this becomes now support levels here. Okay, so like right here, you had a high. One side then broke out, so now that becomes a support level. Same way with here, okay? So you look at the top of that candle at that 64,990, that becomes, because see, that's where you rallied up, and then that's your support level coming on the way on the downside. So that's going to be a very, very key level, okay? So just look at that high, 64,990, and then watch that 21 SMA here, and then watch the bottom of this tail, this 61,20. That's going to be key support levels here. On the downside, that 8 SMA going to be key here on the upside. Now, here, when you look at the weekly chart, what I don't like here, let me say one quick thing here on your daily chart here, is when you look at this RSI, see where you have a high here, okay? Look at the top of this RSI, and then we made a higher high here, and you made a lower high here. See that negative divergence? Always watch for that negative divergence there, and look at here. As that was running up, this is going down, and then what happened is you sell it off. Okay, so always watch that. That's that negative divergence. Here now, we're getting to oversold here conditions, kind of here. But what I don't like for the week here, look at this red candle. That's a topping tail candle. So just got to be very, very careful if you're trading the Bitcoin that it might have topped here. Not totally topped, but maybe like in the short term, this is topped right on now. Okay, the next thing we're going to take a look at here is going to be the VIX, VIX. Now, it looks like the market is going through a little bit of correction period here. Now, remember, there's always a very, very simple rule here that you want to follow, okay? So Friday, you had like a down day. Now, Monday, if you have a down day on Monday, you usually get a turnaround Tuesday where it rallies up, okay? And then vice versa. So if it's if it's an up day on Monday, then you'll get maybe a down day on Tuesday. So always watch that turnaround Tuesday. Very, very critical. Now, when we look at the VIX here, the VIX is going to be nothing but spikes. I mean, that's what the VIX does. But what I do like about this is, see, we have a low, higher low, higher low, higher low. It just keeps on making these higher lows. So you have lower left and then upper right. Very, very nice. Now, here we have like a little spiky action here. So really on the upside here, if you can actually trade the VIX, if you're looking at 1553, and then your next level here is going to be that 1612. That's going to be the top of that candle here, where you kind of have a double top situation. And then what you can do is you have a really big spike up here at 1794 here. So this could rally up here. The key is you just have to get above that 1612 here. But just shows here that there's a lot of energy building here, that this could maybe possibly break up, which would take the markets on the downside here. So just be very, very careful. Now, the VIX isn't like what it used to be, but I always like to watch it just in case, because when you get these big spikes like we had here, well, then that takes the market right on down. So if you get a big spike area here, like if you see the market selling off, but the VIX doing nothing, well, then you don't have to worry about it. But if you see that the VIX is spiking and the market is selling, well, then that could go even lower kind of situations here. So what you want to do is the same thing like on any chart. Just watch that 200. That's at 1471. And then we have everything kind of jammed right on up here. You have your 8-day here at 1441. You have your 21-day at 1419. And then we have your 50-day here at 1397. So it's all the same here. But again, when you have that system of where you bottom here and then that series of lower highs, that's always good. That's always like bullish for anything. But even like the VIX here, it just looks like you're starting to get some big time spikes here. If this can on the upside, just watch that 1612 and then watch that top of that candle, which is 1794 here. So this isn't like what it used to be here, but it's just always something just a little extra here that you want to just take a look at here to measure the volatility. Always remember, the VIX goes up, the market comes down, kind of a situation. Okay? Well, so that's what I got for you today here on the weekend edition, and thanks for watching.